What's good, family? Shout out to the number one loyal coin boosting doggy, Devil Dog 83, for sending in them loyal coins once again. Respect. So we got some breaking news right now regarding Amir Chutney Khan. I can't lie to you, I'm kind of rating the news still. Check this out. Now this news comes from the confirmed promoter of the event, Khan versus Brook, Ben SHLONG. Yeah? Now Ben SHLONG said the following. In a leaked TalkSport interview, Amir Khan has 3 weeks to activate the KELL BROOK rematch clause. Special K, KELL BROOK, wants 1 or 2 more before retirement, with Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Bumman among options. It goes on. Amir Khan could still activate a rematch clause to fight KELL BROOK for a second time. Boxer CEO Ben SHLONG has told TalkSport. Khan was stopped in the 6th round by rival KELL BROOK #Team Lighty in a bruising encounter in Manchester on Saturday night. Special K's power proved too much for his opponent, who took a lot of damage during the bout. It was hinted that Khan could retire, but SHLONG revealed to White and Jordan that he has 3 weeks to decide and or launch his rematch clause. Ben SHLONG is quoted as saying the following. The problem we've got, and no one has mentioned it so far, is that Amir Khan has a rematch clause in his contract, SHLONG told TalkSport. It's not something we would advise, and it's something we don't think Amir should do, but he does have that option. And most importantly, we have heard murmurs from his camp that he was jet lagged and didn't take KELL too seriously. I don't think it will happen, but it's not something in our control. It is something we agreed to do before the fight, something KELL agreed to before the fight, and he has 3 weeks to decide if he wants to fight KELL again. Amir got demolished in that fight, and I would expect that to happen again if the fight were to happen in a rematch. Technically, he would be entitled to that rematch, however. Wow. So there you go from Ben SHLONG. Now, obviously, most importantly here are the quotes I mentioned a second ago, where Ben SHLONG says he's hearing murmurs out of Khan's camp that he was jet lagged and he didn't take KELL too seriously. Also, we've now had the fact that Amir Khan does have a rematch clause. It's quite interesting. Ben SHLONG says, oh well, people aren't mentioning about the rematch clause. Well, you man told us that you weren't allowed to speak about it because of NDAs. Oops, he's mad. Oh, no one's talking about it. It's Ben SHLONG talking about, no one's talking about it, as if we was the one sitting there looking at the contract. You're the one, if you man ain't mentioned it, we ain't gonna know, you muppet. Anyway, listen, Ben SHLONG, in my opinion, he's setting the scene for this rematch to happen. Because think about it again. He's almost exposed himself. He's come out today and said, oh, no one's asking about a rematch. It's like, well, we didn't even know there was a rematch clause. Because you man hadn't told us. In fact, KELL throughout this process has said, I can't talk about contract details. So it begs the question, think about it like this, yeah? Who in the last week, bear in mind the fight happened about 4 days ago now, who in the last 4 days has been asking about a rematch clause? No one. It's not like, well, it was a close decision fight and the fans have been desperate, asking whether there's a rematch clause or not. No one, since the fight ended, has been questioning about a rematch clause. So on that basis, it begs the question, why is Ben SHLONG bringing it up now? And saying, why isn't anyone asking about this rematch clause? I'll tell you why he's doing that. Or I'll tell you the implications, the possible implications of why he's doing that. He's doing it to set the scene. Yeah? Never mind that part of it. He's also telling you that, oh, we're hearing murmurings from Amir Khan's camp that he might want a rematch clause because he had jet lag and because of this and because of that. This is purely setting the scene for the actual rematch to happen. Now, think of it from Amir Khan's point of view. Khan knows he's done. He can't go into a big money deal with Eddie Hearn Although, to be fair, looking and seeing how down bad Eddie Hearn is, even Eddie Hearn would probably drag in Amir Khan to fight Conor Benn. Because Eddie Hearn desperate, so I wouldn't even put that past Hearn. But realistically, Khan doesn't have no options. And he certainly doesn't have any 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, $10 million options. But then again, how much really is he going to make in the rematch? Unless he believes, which he may do, that he's somehow going to turn it around. Because that's one thing you do have to give Amir Khan credit for. He is one delusional cat. He all the way delusional. It's like when he quit against Crawford, he came out saying, yeah, I was just about to come on strongly and I got low blowed. No one watching that fight thought he was going to come on strongly, or that he was going to find a way to win. He's delusional. Yeah, no doubt about it. So what happens when you have a delusional man who desperate, who love coin? Yeah, and I get it from his point of view. Yeah, look at the way boxing's gone. Boxing's all about a bag. We've just seen Evander Holyfield at 90-year-old go in there and get washed by some juicy old MMA UFC don. So Amir Khan at 35, is it really a stretch to think he's going to go in there and execute a rematch clause he's got? Add on top of that the fact that Amir Khan's delusional and believes that he probably can change, can tweak some things in training. And to be honest with you, even looking at the fight, I can see how someone in Amir Khan's position, i.e. 10 out of 10 delusional, will look at that fight and actually take some positives from it. I think Amir Khan will be saying, wow, look, for the first time in my career, even though I'm 35-year-old, for the first time in my career, I've taken clean shots and not even been put down. That's never happened in my career. Why is that? Oh, maybe it's because I'm training with Terence Crawford. And listen, I've got to be honest with you, man. I genuinely believe Terence Crawford's camp added value to Amir Khan. And I believe Khan, I've listened to what Khan said, and I think Khan thinks that too. So when you add it all up, Khan's thinking, wait a minute, or could be thinking, wait a minute, I've made some massive gains here. For the first time in my career, I've been able not to be chinned. And I've only had one camp with them. Maybe if I can have another camp, and maybe I'm going to add some more crazy skills. Or this, that, the other. I don't know. Was Amir Khan not training properly? I don't believe it myself. This was a massive British blockbuster. If Amir Khan didn't train for this, what's he training for? Although, there is a question. Amir Khan may have believed Kell Brook was literally shot to bits. Because that was my big worry. When I put the coin on to back Kell, my only worry was, wow, Kell got knocked out by a jab. Is he really that shot where anything's going to put him out? So, and I've always said, I believe the reason Khan even took this fight was because he thought, yep, Kell's completely shot to bits. So on that basis, is it a stretch to think, well, if we're saying, if we're pretty confident that Amir Khan only took this fight because he believed Kell Brook was shot to bits, it's not a stretch to believe Amir Khan may have also not been training so hard because he thought Kell Brook was shot to bits and the first shot that lands was going to put him out. Because Amir Khan went from absolutely wanting nothing to do with Kell Brook to all of a sudden rock hard for it. And Amir Khan even, as an example to show you how confident Amir Khan was, he even changed the weights from 147 to 149. Before, there's no way Amir Khan, number one, like I said, there was no way Amir Khan was even taking this fight. Never mind making the concession of giving Kell Brook the extra £2. Yeah? So all in all, obviously the fact Ben SHLONG's come out and made these statements, that gives this whole idea of Amir Khan initiating the rematch clause a lot more weight in it, or that gives it all the weight, to be honest with you. Because like I said, if Ben SHLONG hadn't come out, this wouldn't have crossed no one's mind. So it's kind of odd. Why is he bringing this up for? If it's completely out of the question, if it's not, I think this is Ben SHLONG hedging his bets. Ben SHLONG as the promoter doesn't want to be caught lacking, i.e. bearing in mind how the public's feeling right now, i.e. Kell Brook absolutely washed Amir Khan. What Ben SHLONG doesn't want to do is not say anything about this, and then in 3 weeks' time it gets triggered and everyone's caught. What's going on here? Didn't even know that was a possibility. Do you understand? So I feel like Ben Shalong's thinking there is a more than 0% chance, or probably a decent chance, I don't know, 30, 20, 40% chance Amir Khan is going to go for this. Because like he said, he's hearing murmurings that could have got in better shape, etc, etc. And when you put all the factors together, i.e. Amir Khan's got nowhere else to go, maybe Amir Khan even thinks he can find a way to win, I don't know. So when you put it all in, what does Amir Khan have to lose now? He's already been stopped by KELL BROOK now. If anything, as a fighter as well, he's not old, is he? He's not 45, he's only 35. So as a 35-year-old man, at this point, he's already got the loss against KELL BROOK. What more does he have to lose now? I guess you could argue, well, maybe next time he's going to go spark out, which is the real reality, I believe. I honestly think that next time, or if he was to do rematch, there's an increased risk of Amir Khan going cold out. But these fighters do tend to be delusional. That's what gives them the confidence to go in there. So if Amir Khan's probably thinking, wait a minute, if I have one camp with Terence Crawford's team and he can't put me down, maybe next camp he don't rock me at all. Yeah? So maybe next time I can find a way to do this to A, B, C, D and pull off the victory. And like I said, he's already got the loss to Brook now. He may be thinking about taking revenge. I've got a loss, got nothing to lose. All I've got to gain is more millions or potentially another loss, another stoppage loss. And to be honest with you, if Khan does take the rematch, and he gets knocked out cold next time, it's not going to be a shock to anyone, is it? So really, it's all upside. Either Khan comes back, gets knocked out, okay, no one cares, and he gets millions in the bank, or he comes back and miraculously pulls something off, and he's back in the game again. So it really is, from Khan's point of view, all upside. However, from the fans' point of view, I'm hearing the pay-per-views did about 700,000. Now, one thing for sure, I believe, if this fight does happen again, the numbers are going to be cut in half. I can tell you, or I told you, man, my nipples were tingling before the first one, because there was questions to be answered. Is KELL shot to bits? We know Khan been shot to bits, yeah? Khan was born shot to bits. But, you know what I'm saying? There was genuine questions. Now, though, it's a foregone conclusion. I'd be surprised if it did more than... If this one did 700, yeah, the rematch wouldn't do more than 350, 400, I wouldn't have thought. Because all that bad blood, don't forget people after the fight, it's not like, for example, if Khan, or for a rematch strategy, Khan would have been better off going down the it was stopped early route. Yeah? That would have set up a good narrative there. If Khan was thinking about taking a rematch in the ring, he should have been saying, what are you doing, referee? You stopped the fight early. Yeah, I was just about to come on strong. Because at least then it sets a narrative. And I even saw some Khan fans saying, oh, he got stopped early, it's rigged. It was rigged for KELL, even though KELL was a raving B-side. Even though KELL had to take his gloves off. Do you know what I'm saying? People are gasped, but yeah. That would have been better off from a narrative point of view. Because what are you going to say now? Number one, you conceded you got beat. You said you had the best camp ever. And you man was kissing and hugging afterwards, talking about going for coffee. Whereas if Khan had gone down the route of, the referee stopped the fight, and if I was Khan, I'd have probably been saying, listen, KELL, you paid the referee. Do you know what I'm saying? One of them ones to keep the beef going. Yeah, F the coffee. I want you bad in a rematch. But guess what? Khan didn't mention even a lick about a rematch. Khan spoke more about retirement and being old and his legs being finished. Again, all these things, talking about your legs are finished, talking about how you didn't have the heart to go in there and didn't want to push through. All them things don't sell a rematch. You should have been saying, listen, I got beat, but I'm rock hard for this guy. And he robbed me. Him and the referee had a secret deal and robbed me. That's what you should have been saying. Instead, you completely turned everyone off. So, the marketability of this fight shot to bits. But again, where does Khan have to go? Although I'd like to think that Khan has more places to go than this rematch. This is a hard rematch. Surely them Saudi dons can pay you some coin. Think about it. Let's say you made 4 mil or 5 mil for this fight, yeah? He ain't going to make more than 2 for the next one. So really, you telling me that some Saudi don, yeah? I'm sure there's some Saudi don out there who going to pay you 2 mil to fight some bum. So I don't even think it's about the money, really. He does have places to go, I'd have thought. He does have bums to fight on a Saudi show. So yeah, on that basis, I do think... assuming that's true, It all depends. It all comes down to, does Amir Khan have Saudi coin to fight bums? If he does, this rematch ain't happening, because it's not worth him to get his reputation smashed some more by letting KELL have a go on him one more time. If he doesn't, if everyone's not interested in him now, then you best believe Amir Khan doing this rematch, no matter what. If Khan has no other options for coin, he taking this fight, 100%. I'll watch it, but I mean, yeah, all that anticipation's gone. Unless, obviously, Khan can pull some miracle out the bag, and obviously that would then, the third fight would be the biggest fight. Yeah, let's say, well, KELL won the first one. If Khan somehow knocked KELL out, the third one would be massive again. The third one would do over 800 if the first one did 700, if you get what I'm saying. Anyway, interesting. Let's see what happens.